All right, next up in our study of SketchUp is this idea of a flying tour around a model. So here's how this is going to work today. This model that you see right here will be posted on Google Classroom for you to open up. It's not right now as I'm recording this movie, but it will be by the time you might be looking at this movie and doing the assignment. So you'll click on the model and get it opened up in Google SketchUp. Sorry, brain's going too many different ways. And this is a model that I built and I just made it up. This is a fictional place called Plainfield University. See that? I've had people ask me, I didn't know Plainfield had a university. They don't. I just made this up. All right, so right there's the main front entrance of this big building, lots of windows. There's like a glass walkway up here, and there's like wings that have classrooms or whatever that come out here on both sides. And there's a horseshoe drive where you can drive up. The sign says welcome. Over here, this other sign, if we orbit around and look at it, this sign says thanks for visiting, right? And zoom out here some, and we've got an athletic field over here at the side. So there you go. That's kind of the setup of the model, right? Okay, now it's possible in Google SketchUp to create an animated kind of flying tour of your model, and that's what I want you to work with today. I want to show you how to do it. I want you to do one, and then that'll be good enough for today. That's all you have to add to this. You don't really have to build anything today. You're just going to add like a flying tour. Here's how it's done. Over here on the right-hand side, there is a button that says Scenes, and you're going to want that panel. All right, so I'm pointing to it here. A little pop-up says Scenes. I'm going to go ahead and click that button right there, and bingo. All right, so now it says to begin with, there are no scenes in this model, so that's what we're going to do. So here's how this works. You just use your basic navigation tools like zooming, orbiting, panning, whatever, and get a view of the model that you like. So what I've done is think of this like a drone that's going to fly around this property and give you different angles, give you a view from different angles. So I've kind of taken, again, if you think of it like a drone, I've kind of taken the drone up to a higher altitude. We're kind of looking down on the whole property. You can see everything. And so I'm going to come up here and I'm going to hit the plus sign on that panel, and that adds scene 1. Yay. All right, so now all we have to do to begin with here is change the camera angle. Maybe the next thing I want to do is just kind of fly it. The next view that I want to give my audience here is this view from the back corner. So I've changed the camera angle. I still have it kind of high up in the air. Then you can still see everything, but you're just seeing it from a different angle. And so I'm going to hit the plus sign, and that becomes scene 2. By the way, there will be a handout about this posted on Google Classroom, but your thing of the day is you're going to have 10 scenes today. This is going to be a 10-scene movie. But it's not hard, right? It's not like it's hard. All right, so now I'm going to change the camera angle once again. So I'll just I'm going to orbit this around. We're going to take a view of it from kind of up high from this kind of back left corner of the building, and you're getting closer to the athletic field, and I'll hit the plus sign, and that's going to be scene 3. And now maybe what I'll do is bring us down toward... we're doing a combination of zooming and panning and orbiting, and I'm going to bring us down toward the athletic field. And I'll hit the plus sign. That's going to be my scene 4 right there. And then I'm going to rotate around so we're looking at the athletic field this way. And that's going to be, boom, that's going to be scene 5. And then what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to bring us over and get up close on that welcome sign. That's going to be mine. And so you don't have to do it just like me. You're going to work for the angles and the views that you want, right? And you're going to stack them up here. Scene 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this is going to be my scene 6. All right, and then my next view is going to be, I'm going to take it from the sign to where we kind of see the main entrance right here, Plainfield University. That's going to be my scene 7. Then I'm going to angle that back just a bit, and we'll give it kind of a, we'll give it kind of a view like that, and that's going to be my scene 8. And then I'm going to get us kind of up higher behind the building. kind of like that. That's going to be my scene 9. I'll come over here at the plus sign, and I need one more scene to complete the assignment. And so I'm going to come flying in here toward the sign that's at the end of the horseshoe drive that says, thanks for visiting Plainfield University, and I'm going to hit the plus sign. That's going to be my scene 10. Yay. Now, you'll notice over here that if I click on a scene, sorry, I didn't mean to click on the name of it. If I click on a scene on that panel, then SketchUp automatically changes the view to that scene, to that angle that you chose for that scene. And like here's scene 2, right? So if I click them, it will kind of animate its way to each. I could go back to scene 1, right? I could click any of these, and it kind of works its way to that view that you defined for scene 1, scene 2, scene 3, scene 4. Now, here's the next thing I want you to know. Down here at the bottom of the scene panel, there's a play button, right? There's also a, well, no, that's for updating, it's not for looping. It loops by itself. There's a play button down here. So if I click on scene 1 and then I just go hit the play button, and I just, kind of sit back and watch, right? It's going to work its way through all 10 scenes. It just went from scene 1 to scene 2. Now it's giving me a look at scene 2, and now it's going over to scene 3, and now it's giving me a look at the view that I picked for scene 3. Now we're animating our way down to scene 4. And then we're going to spin around and animate our way to scene 5. That's what I gave for scene 5. Here comes scene 6, which is a close-up on the welcome sign. All right, there we go. Scene 7 was kind of a front entrance scene for me. Yours are going to be different, I'm sure. Scene 8 was kind of an angled view of that front of the building. Scene 9, we're going to go up high and behind the building. Here we go. And then scene 10 is going to be a fly-in to the sign that says, thanks for visiting. Now, these do loop over and over. It's on scene 10. It's automatically going back to scene 1. This animation is going to keep playing until you hit the pause button that's at the bottom of the scene panel. So I'll just go ahead and pause that animation. Now, the last thing I want to show you as a part of setting this up is that on this bottom, it is possible to select a scene and trash it, right? There's a trash can down there. If you think, oh, okay, I don't want that scene anymore, it's possible to do that. Or if you decide to change a scene, you can select it and change the camera angle, and then you would have to update that scene right there. There's a little circular like refresh button, and you would have to update the scene if you make a change to a scene. All right, now, but the other thing I want to show you here is this little settings button here that's at the bottom of the scene panel. Looks like a gear, and I'm going to go ahead and click it. When I click it, there's not a ton of settings, but here's what we've got. There's transition time and there's display time. Transition time is how long it takes. Think of it like a drone, how long it would take the drone to fly from one scene to the next scene. How long does the actual flying take? And it's measured in seconds. So like the movement part right now is set on 3 seconds. The delay time would be once again, think of it like a drone. Once the drone gets to an angle that you've picked for a scene, how long does it stay there? So delay time is stationary time. That is time sitting there, sitting still and looking at something. Transition time is motion time. How quickly does it move when it goes? And you can adjust these. You can either click in the box itself and use those up arrows, or there's also a slider there that you can use if you want to do that. So like if I wanted to speed up the transition time a little bit, right? It was on 3 seconds. I'll put it on 1 second. But maybe I want to increase the delay time a little bit. I'll put that up to 4 seconds. You don't want it to be super long, right? So I've changed it from 3 and 3 to the transition time is 1 second, which means it should fly faster. The motion should be faster. The delay time is how long it sits and looks at something. That's the hold still time, so it should be just slightly longer. So I'll go ahead and click OK. I'll click back on scene 1. I'll hit the play button, and let's check it out. I should get 4 seconds of look time, right? Look, that's 4 seconds. And then I get a 1 second transition. And it was quicker this time. I don't know if you're noticing the difference, but the flying time, the moving time is shorter than it was before. It's going quicker than it did before. The actual hold still and look time is slightly longer because I bumped it up to 4 seconds instead of 3. And you can set those options on whatever you want. All right, you are in control. All right, so that's the idea behind creating a flying tour of a model. And that's going to come up again later in the project that we're going to do where you build your own model. You're going to have to add a flying tour. That's why I wanted to train you on it so you would know how. All right, I'm going to go ahead and hit pause on this flying tour. The only other thing you should have to do would be come up here to the top left and save this. Once you've made these changes, right, you should save it. Boom. And then you may have to go through the process when you go to save it. You may have to tell it, okay, I want it on my Google Drive, and you go ahead and name it, and then you're good. Then you go turn it in. All right, that's it.